Police officers across Texas say they're prime prey for thieves. Disabled people in our state are losing thousands of dollars every day.
Texas lawmakers say that's in part because the current penalties for the criminals targeting that group just aren't harsh enough. KXAN's political reporter Josh Hinkle has been looking into a bill just filed that could really send a message to people taking advantage of the disabled community. Josh?
Yes, and when you look at the number of people criminals are targeting, it's astounding. The state groups disabled and elderly victims together with things like abuse, neglect, and what we're talking about tonight, theft. In the last year, there were 70,000 investigations statewide. 7,000 of those were right here in Central Texas, and another 2,900 of those were in Travis County alone. Now, a law already exists to up the penalties for crimes committed against the elderly, but lawmakers now want to do the same thing for the disabled.
The things that we've seen will turn your stomach.
A nicely trimmed, well-manicured block of Northeast Austin homes had one overgrown, neglected lot for more than a year. During that time, police say this man, 49-year-old Joe Munoz, told the elderly woman who lived here he was completing work to spruce up the place. Instead, he scammed her out of more than $120,000.
If it's simply a misdemeanor case, then the penalties are very mild in that situation, and it doesn't do anything to deter the crime.
That's why instead of facing a second-degree felony and up to 20 years in prison, Munoz is now looking at an enhanced first-degree felony, which could mean up to 99 years in prison. State law allows prosecutors to boost the charge by one level because the victim in this case is elderly.
If you're a felon, that's going to follow you, and it's going to be more difficult to get jobs. You're not going to have the kind of opportunities you had to take advantage of people.
Barb Misle, who works with the recently formed Travis County Elderly and Disabled Task Force, welcomes a new bill to add crimes against the disabled to that law. The punishment for stealing from disabled people would also jump by one level. Easy to imagine, but tough for even the bill's sponsor to expect, in a session already taken over by a state budget shortfall of possibly more than $20 billion.
As we look at this budget shortfall, I hope that this bill doesn't fail to get adopted just because of the fact that it may put a few more people in jail because it may cost the state more money.
A lot of lawyers in town see this happening every single time.
Misle hopes lawmakers look past those costs and consider the price victims pay. The woman in this case, who only wanted some lawn work, ended up losing her life savings. Well, do you think it's worth the cost? You can check out the bill and give your feedback to its sponsor by checking out this story on our political site. That's onpolitics.com. In the studio, Josh Hinkle, KXAN Austin News.
Josh.